brought my own.
Yours is probably easier to read. You guys rolling? Good?
Everybody all right? All right. It's good to see everybody. It's good to be back. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the football and the opening of training camp, I do just want to take 1 second to say thank you and congratulations to all the people that helped us with Football 101 last Friday. My wife, Laura, 3 ladies in particular here in the athletic department, Tara, Holly, and Kim. The first year we did that event, we hosted 175 ladies. The second year we did it, we're a little above 300. This year we hosted over, I think, nearly 550 ladies from the community and came in and had a blast. We were able to raise a good amount of money to be used specifically for our players, and we were also able to make a significant contribution to Each One Tell One, which is a really good charitable cause here in the community. So congratulations again to the people that did all the heavy lifting. We appreciate all their help. Very happy and excited to be back with the team. Very happy and excited to be on the verge of training camp here, and excited to get going with the 2015 season. Obviously, everybody everywhere in college football is, what's the question here, what's the question there? That's the nature of college football. People graduate, people transfer, all those things happen. We have our set of issues just like everybody else does, but the only way to begin to answer those is to get out there and compete, and that will start this afternoon. I do believe we're off to a good start. We had one travel issue last night. My man Cam Turner drove an hour and 45 minutes in Alabama from his house to the airport and discovered he'd forgotten his ID. Not exactly around the corner to get back and get the ID, so he showed up a little bit late last night, but he did get here, so everybody's here. Meetings went well last night. We had a conditioning test this morning. That's a little bit different for us, but the layoff between the end of our summer work and the start of training camp, for some reason on this calendar, was a little bit longer than it normally is. It was like 9-10 days. It's usually not that long, so we felt like we had to make sure that they kept running during that little break and came back in shape. I would tell you 98% of the team breezed through it. So I think we're good there. We've had football meetings just broke. They're off to lunch, and we'll have some special teams meetings this afternoon, and we'll be on the field at 3 o'clock for practice 1, which is exciting. I don't know if most of you know this, but everybody in America, no matter where they're at, can only report to training camp with 105 players. So there were some decisions that had to be made in terms of our 105. I think there are a lot of the vast majority of the names you would recognize, but there were some additions to the 105 that I think are worth mentioning. Malik Brody got talked about at Mountain West Media Days because he's a Vegas resident. But we are very excited about Malik's presence here with our team. He's here in the 105. He came here as a non-scholarship player, but I am very excited about him and really think that someday he's going to play significant minutes here. Rodney Lawson is here, a junior college transfer from City College of San Francisco at wide receiver. Jason Ellenberger is here, a transfer. He's originally from Northern California. He went to the Air Force Academy coming out of high school, has since transferred here, joined us in the summer. He is considered a redshirt freshman as we look at his classification. Devin Porter, who is Clifford Porter's younger brother and a local product, will join us as a walk-on wide receiver. He's here in camp. We have a young man by the name of Colin Flannery, who is from suburban Houston, Texas, who will join us as a freshman tight end. Colin's only about 200 pounds, but he's over 6'5". Very, very long levered guy. and as his body catches up, might be somebody that could play a role someday. Austin Mcninch joins us as a walk-on offensive lineman from here in Reno. And when Austin was coming out of high school, was my first year, I was trying to get him to do the exact same thing. He went off, played 2 years of junior college football, and we're excited to have another local guy join us on the O-line. Isaiah Clethan will join us, another junior college product. David Zavala and Cody DeHaan, both freshmen offensive linemen that are joining us as walk-ons. And obviously DeHaan, a very, very decorated local high school product. And again, I can't tell you how excited we are to keep another young local guy home and in the family. Spencer Pettit will join us from the state of Washington as a freshman kicker. That's important to us because we really did not have a legitimate leg behind Brent Zuzo last year. So that was important for us to go out and identify a backup kicker that could come in. Now with Brent having 2 years left, this gives us a chance to maybe groom somebody right here within the program without having to go out and find another freshman kicker from Detroit. We'd like to not have to do that again. And then finally on defense, Adam Sagapolo, who is going to join us as a junior college transfer defensive tackle. So those are the names that as you looked at the 105, you might say, well, I don't recognize that name. I think everybody else has been a part of the family and the program. This is not unusual. It happens all the time. And we will add some more guys on the first day of school when the NCAA allows you to expand past your 105. You can do that on the first day of classes. And we might add anywhere from 10 to 15 more guys, and I'm sure some of those will be local as well. So that's kind of a roster update. Injury update-wise, Cam Richardson, who is any of you have seen us live, he's about a 6'7" wide receiver, was actually having a great spring. We were excited about what he was doing. Unfortunately, this is my first experience with a cell phone-related, talking on a cell phone, walking down the sidewalk, didn't see a curb, stepped off the curb, and broke his big toe. And he's going to be out 3 to 5 weeks. So young people, put your cell phones down. So unfortunately, he's going to be here with us rehabbing, but cannot participate in practice, cannot participate in meetings. He's here solely to rehab the toe and see how quickly we can get him back. For those of you who peek out at practice today, Hasan Henderson will not be there. Hasan has come down with a nasty upper respiratory infection. We sent him home this morning. That's nothing long-term. The only reason I mention it is because the first day of practice, everybody will be out there, and big number 12 is a hard guy to miss. So when he's not out there, obviously, we're going to ask. So I figured I'd head that one off at the pass. The only other guy that might take a couple of days is redshirt sophomore outside linebacker Travis Wilson, who is coming off a hamstring strain. He did not run the conditioning test this morning, but he was running on the side. He's probably 3-4 days away. We have some guys that have little nagging, muscle stuff coming out of summer conditioning, but the vast majority of the team is in good shape, and hopefully will stay that way. In regards to practices, we're not as open to the public as we have been in the past. Part of that, quite honestly, is a Thursday first game, so it kind of changes the last couple of weeks of your training camp. A weekend that I might have been open to the public now becomes a UC Davis practice. So it was not done on purpose. It was not out of any concern over people seeing a position battle or what have you. It's just the way the calendar fell with a Thursday game. On Friday, August the 14th, we will be open to Blitz members. So for people who are part of our booster club that works directly with football, on the 14th, they're going to have access. And if we have some fans out there that are debating whether or not to join the Blitz, there's a perk. You'll get a facility tour and a practice that you get to see just for you. On Saturday, August the 15th, is Fan Appreciation Day. We will be in Mackey Stadium and we'll be open to the public. Anybody who wants to come is more than welcome to be there. We'd love to see them. and we will have our players, a group of our players will hang around and sign autographs post-practice with anybody that wants to come and hang out with them. And then on Saturday, August the 22nd, that is going to be Faculty Staff Appreciation Day, and we will open that practice only for faculty staff members here on campus and their families and children that would like to come out and be there with us. Like I said, this is just kind of the way the calendar fell. In terms of two-a-days this year, we have 4 of them on the schedule. I think there'll come a time pretty soon when two-a-days will become a thing of the past. The only change for us was last year the morning practice was a little bit shorter. It wasn't padded, and we kind of left all the heavy lifting into the afternoon. I've kind of shifted my focus as the schedule in the fall is going to change. The morning of the two-a-day will be the more physical, longer, heavier lifting, for lack of a better term, practice. The afternoon one will be not in full pads, and we'll be out there a little bit shorter time, and probably would be more pass emphasis, to be honest with you. Want to get out there, geeked up, excited to be back around the team. Have no preconceived notions about the polls and where we fit, and Lindy's, whoever it is, said that we had the 12th ranked quarterback group out of the conference, 12 out of 12. Well, no kidding, we haven't named a starting quarterback. So I mean that stuff, it's that time of year that stuff kind of floats around and it becomes a talking point. But for me, for us collectively, I don't think it's a big deal. We're just anxious to get out there and get going. On one last personal note, because you guys do come to practice, and this was something that I did not take lightly, that I thought a lot about, but I am going to leave on a red-eye tonight with my wife. We are going to fly back to Ohio. I will be there with my mom and dad when my dad gets his gold jacket Thursday night. Actually, the Hall of Fame changed the schedule this year, and it really made it tougher for me. Not that they care, but the gold jacket used to be on Friday night, and then the enshrinement would be on Saturday in the stadium. They've now moved the gold jacket dinner to Thursday night, enshrinement Saturday. I'm going to go back to be a part of that, to be with my family and celebrate with my dad. Again, it's not something I took lightly, but at the end of the day, that's my father. This is literally once in a lifetime, and I just decided it was not something that I wanted to miss and not be a part of and share with my family. So I will be at practice today. I will leave tonight. Jim Hoffer, our assistant head coach and a 2-time head coach, is going to take over in my stead on Thursday and Friday. I set up the schedule so that we would not practice on Saturday. We'll lift, we'll walk through, we'll meet, we'll actually take the team to the pool to get a little bit of a stretch and some work in, and then we're going to practice Sunday afternoon, and I will be back here for Sunday's practice. I will be in constant communication with the coordinators and with Coach Hoffer via phone and email. It's going to be difficult. I will be chomping at the bit, but it's the right thing to do, and I hope that people who support our program, surround our program, cover our program, can respect the decision that was made. It was not made lightly, but it's family. So we're going to have 29 practices before the first game. We've got great character on our team and great coaches. My hope is that we won't skip a beat, miss a beat. So with that, I will take any questions that you have, and like I said, happy to be back with you.
Quick follow-up on Hasan. I know you held him out at contact drills in the spring. Is he cleared to go?
He has been cleared. We sent all of his films out and had a final evaluation done by some of the top medical people in the West. And then we sent the results out to some friends in the National Football League that looked everything at well, and they all agreed with the diagnosis, and that is that he is 100% full go. And I spoke to Hasan yesterday about the need for a little bit of contact in this training camp. He's going to be in some scrimmages, and we're going to have to take some shots.
Have you noticed any hesitation on his part about contact, or is he just ready to go?
No, he's just ready to go. None. I think he's excited. And apparently you're going to ask him because he just walked down the steps. So.
What's it like to wake up today, first day of training camp, everyone gets back
It's
to the
like
building?
Christmas. It's like Christmas. It's great. I didn't sleep very much. Me and the dog were up at about 5:30. I was in the office at close to 6, and just really today's great because we're out on the field. Yesterday was just a lot of fun because our report time was 4 p.m. and starting around noon, there were players coming upstairs in the office in waves, stopping in to say hello. I had the opportunity to visit with about 25 players individually yesterday, and it's just so nice to have the guys back in the building. It's fun. You feel the energy. It's awesome. It's everybody's got their new gear on. Chris Collins put out all the new gear this year, so you know it's all the coaches come down. They're trying on their stuff. It's just fun. It's a new year. It's my if you count from going to training camp with my dad when I started doing that, I think this is my 27th July and August where football starts anew and the feeling's just awesome. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Is there an update on Austin Corbet's eligibility?
There is no update there. It's an ongoing process. There are conversations that are occurring between us. The NCAA and Wisconsin is involved as well. To be honest with you, I am hoping for a resolution quickly, but I can't count on it. It's really out of our control. I feel I am frustrated for Austin because he's kind of in a limbo right now, which is not fair to him. The way that we're going to handle this football-wise is we're going to make sure he gets enough reps here until the decision is made so that if they did come back and say he is eligible to play immediately, that we would have given him a fair opportunity to put himself in the mix for the job. So that's about as thorough as I can answer that question at this point.
Is there a precedent for this? Because, I mean, obviously, if you enroll a semester early, you don't transfer typically. Is that
I think that is part of the problem with this right now is that there is no precedent to point back to. If you take into the account that he enrolled early, that there was a coaching change that occurred, there is and this is always how I felt about it, this situation is so unique. We felt like it garnered a fair hearing because there's a lot of circumstances at play here that you don't see very often. So I think, frankly, that's part of the holdup. There's nothing to point back to and say, this has happened before and this is how we handled it.
You mentioned the Hall of Fame. I guess what do you feel like you're going to be feeling when you go back there and see your dad?
Just
highest honor in football.
Incredible love and pride, and it's difficult to express because it's the absolute highest honor you can receive in our business. I think if you just, I'm in college football, but football in general, to be able to share that with him and with my sister and my two brothers and my mom especially, who really, she bore the brunt of, as he was working his way up as a scout. And, my mom is the one that had to move 4 kids to Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Chicago, Illinois, and Buffalo, and all those places. So to be a part of this celebration is incredible. I'm so, I don't know if it's the right way to say it, I'm honored for him. I'm in awe of all the people that are coming back to be a part of it. To think that Peyton Manning is going to leave Broncos training camp and drive to be there as a sign of respect. Or excuse me, fly. Peyton's not driving anywhere. Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Steve Tasker. I can't wait to see all those guys I grew up with. It's just going to be an incredible experience. I just wish that it wasn't occurring the days of practices 2 and 3, but it's unfortunate that's the way it went. So.
You mentioned the 2-a-days. Are you guys having fewer of those? I know some teams aren't even doing any.
I'm not quite sure. I haven't studied that. I've heard somebody say we're not doing 2-a-days. I wonder if they're then using every full available practice because you can only have 29 before you play your first game. Now, one of the things that we do here after the first weekend of camp, we give a day off every weekend. Week 1, it's going to be Saturday. Weeks 2 and 3 are both Sundays. I guess if you just went straight through, you'd never have to have a 2-a-day, or you're sacrificing a practice or two. I want every practice opportunity that we can enjoy. I also want them to have a day off somewhere in the week to get their legs back underneath them. So in order to do that, we got to have a couple doubles. And I do believe, maybe I'm a little bit old school in the sense, there's a little mental and physical toughness in going out there twice in a day. And, you know, it was going on for a long time. I understand the medical concerns. We're certainly not trying to put anybody at risk, and we'll be smart about it. But just there is a little bit of development to the mental toughness when you go out there twice in a day.
Any walk-ons are going into scholarship now, like a Corbett or anything like that?
I don't know if I ever announced it, but Trevor Taft, who was our special teams ace and wore the #1 jersey the vast majority of the year, Trevor had a 5th year of eligibility remaining, and the coaching staff and I decided that his value to us as a special teams player was so important that we wanted to put him on scholarship, let him start graduate school, and keep him a part of the program. I have a hunch that before we get to the end of the training camp, we might name one more, but I want to see how the first couple of weeks go, because there's a guy that I'd like to reward, but like I said, I'm anxious to see how training camp goes, and I think that would be a nice surprise here at the end. Now, as I say that, all the walk-ons are going to try and figure out if it's them or not. So.
Coach, what was the reasoning for switching up the practices to go in the morning?
It was more of an academic-driven decision, to be honest with you. The trend in academia is professors want to teach more late morning, early afternoon into early evening classes, and what we found was we were having too many seniors that are playing. We're having to leave on Tuesday, Thursday at 3:30 in the afternoon. Cody Fajardo was in one class last year to graduate, yet he had to leave practice to go attend it, a half an hour early, 2 days a week. So about 6 months ago, I asked Andrew Caudill and our academic staff, go look at everybody's major, go look at their tracks, go see where we're at. Could we practice in the morning and everybody get what they need from noon beyond? And the answer was a resounding yes. And to be honest with you, it is a trend in college football right now. This is happening all over the country. I talked to Pat Fitzgerald about it at length. Northwestern does it this way. I talked to a coach at the University of Central Florida. They do it that way. I believe Coach Sanchez is doing it this way now at UNLV. I wonder if his motivation might be 125 degrees at 4 in the afternoon. I don't know. We didn't get a chance to go that far in the conversation, but it's going to be an adjustment for me. It's the first time I've ever done it. I certainly know it'll be an adjustment for our players because they will be in the building at 6:45 in the morning. So now sleep, nutrition, all those things factor in. There are people that will tell you, and I didn't study it, so I don't want to claim that I have the answers. There are people who tell you the science would lead you to believe that it's better for them to practice in the morning. That after a day of sitting in class and the monotony of an academic day, and then you get them into football meetings and take the field at 3:30, 4 o'clock, that's a little bit harder on them. So it'll be, but I will tell you that the main motivator was academics first, and then we felt like we'd adjust football-wise secondly.
The quarterback battle is an obvious one, but
I can't believe it took us that long to get here.
I'm going to skip that one for now. I want to know what some of the other position battles that you're excited about. You know, we had some in spring, but what are some that you're excited about looking to play out here in fall?
It's no secret we're going to be very young in the defensive backfield. I mean, it doesn't matter who's playing. Randy Uzoma's probably, if I think about it, Randy, you've got Randy back there as a junior. Elijah Mitchell has played a little bit as a junior. Everybody else is a sophomore below, both at safety and at corner. So I think we have talent, but we're young, and we're going to have to figure out what young guys in the back end are going to step up. We're going to have to identify a right tackle. We're going to have to identify a center. And then obviously the quarterback situation. I think at the other spots, I think in our defensive front seven we have great depth. I think I know the depth of the offensive line is a concern. It is for me. But when you think about it now, you've got Joey Engelmeyer, Austin Corbett, Adam Corey, all played a ton of football last year as redshirt freshmen. So now you've got 3 redshirt sophomores that have played a ton of football. You think about Hasan, Jericho Richardson, Braden Sanchez, Wyatt Demps. I think we have really good options at wide receiver, as well as some young players, Celis, Gonzalez, that will develop. And I'm excited about the tight end position. Gipp has been a very good player. Gipp has probably played better than he's got natural ability because he's a good guy and loves ball. Matt Moen now will be a sophomore that played as a true freshman. And the Evan Fonts guy, I think, is going to sneak up on people because he's long and can run all day. So there are some things I feel really good about, and there's some questions that obviously we're going to have to get answered.
As far as the quarterback battle then, I mean, what's the evaluation, Brian? What characteristics are you looking for over the next couple weeks to make your decision?
First and foremost is ball security. The quarterback can't make bad decisions and turn the ball over. So whoever takes care of the ball the best is going to give us the best chance to win. And then after that, I'm not worried about the fashion show. It's really about who makes the offense better by their presence and who gives us the best chance to be productive. If we score points as an offense with one quarterback, but another guy's stats are a little bit better, it doesn't matter. The scoreboard doesn't care how you got there. We have to produce points and be efficient. And whoever takes care of the rock and who can ever lead the offense to touchdowns will be the guy that we put in there. And I was lucky enough, Coach Parcells was kind enough to spend about an hour and a half with me on the phone this summer, and we talked about the quarterback position. And I described to him, we have a veteran, we have some younger guys that have some ability. And he had a great line. He said, Brian, the scoreboard doesn't know what year the quarterback is, and frankly doesn't care. The only thing that matters is leading the offense and scoring touchdowns. And whoever does it, does it. And to be honest with you, I'm not going into camp with a preconceived notion. I took a really hard look at every snap each guy took in the spring, evaluated it, and now I really want to go the next 2 weeks and evaluate every rep that they take. And hopefully in about 2 weeks, somebody will have separated themselves from the pack, and we can move forward.
Obviously, your first 2 fall camps, you had Cody set as the starting quarterback. Is there a different mentality knowing that you don't know exactly who your starting quarterback is?
No, I think we would practice the same way. I think the only difference, and I don't know if this is quarterback driven, it may just be an ancillary benefit, but we're going to spend more time in the first week running 2 team drills, 2 7-on-7 drills, 2 team run and play action pass drills. The reason is we have a lot of young players, and the only way young players learn is by getting reps. A true freshman doesn't learn by standing there in the back end and watching. They need to play. So for the first week of training camp, we're gonna get a ton of reps. That is a benefit for the quarterback battle in the sense that people will be getting a lot of opportunities instead of having to roll them into one huddle. So we'll see how that helps us as we're trying to make the evaluation. Is that it?
More questions for Coach? One last one.
Yes.
The Mackey upgrades, I know it doesn't affect you personally, but it's got to feel good that they're sinking some money into it to make it a more enjoyable place to come watch a game.
The Taj Mahal of bathrooms. I'm excited. Any fresh new look that we can get out there is great. I would take the stance that the renovations that begin at the end of this season and will hopefully be ready by the fall of 16, those will affect us. I think whenever the fan experience can be improved, and I think when you can show recruits that there's investment in your program and that your facilities are high-quality facilities, it matters in recruiting. Whether it should or not is not up to us. The reality of it is it does matter, and that's a benefit for us. And we have artwork right now that we show recruits when they come in to say, we love Mackey Stadium, but this is what it's going to look like, but by the time you report here as a freshman. And, that's important. So, we good? Thank you so much.
different. I mean, it's pretty obvious that, I mean, I didn't really ever go with the ones in any previous camp I've been here, and obviously it'll be switching on and off with the ones, so that'll be a little different.
When you reviewed what you did in the spring personally, I guess, what did you like about how you performed in the spring, and what did you feel like you needed to improve?
I didn't hear the beginning. What did you say? Sorry.
When you looked back at your spring film, I guess, what did you like about what you saw, and what did you feel like you needed to improve?
There's always things to improve on. I feel like I took care of the ball pretty well. I had a couple here and there where it was like, what do you thinking type plays. Footwork, stepping up in the pocket. They said I feel like I have a good pocket presence. Just when I step up, I kind of tend to creep up a little bit. Like even though like I'm away from the danger, I still creep up a little bit. So I need to work on that. And always taking care of the ball is always a huge thing. So.
Coaches have always lauded you for preparation and watching film and doing all those things. Why has that been such an important part of your game?
Well, all the times I've been here, I was splitting reps a lot of the times. Like last year I was in a QB battle with for the second string job, so I was splitting reps then. And the year before I was really young, so I didn't really take that many reps. So I figured I have to watch something and get some type of rep, whether it be mental or physical. So that's why I feel like preparing that way and watching film is always a benefit. It's not going to hurt me, so that's why I do it.
What did you learn from Cody?
From Cody? Definitely, I feel like he was pretty, like game situation wise, he was pretty poised. Like when we come to the sideline, he never looked flustered or like out of it or not into the game. So even when something was going wrong, like we're losing by 2 touchdowns or something, like Arizona game is a pretty good example of that. We're losing, I think 28-14, somewhere around there, and he came back and we came back and we had a chance to tie the game. I mean, obviously the ball just didn't go our way, but he definitely was in it the whole way, so that was good.
How important is it not just for what you do ability-wise, but to be a leader on that team at the quarterback position? And you know, if someone makes a mistake, you go over there and you get them riled back up to get back in there. Just that leadership aspect that the quarterback role.
Well, yeah, the quarterback role always comes with leadership. It kind of comes with the territory. But I feel like there's times to get on players and there's times to bring them up type thing. So it just kind of depends on the situation and which person it is and all that kind of thing.
What facets of your game do you want to show these next couple of weeks to prove that you deserve to have this job?
Definitely just leading the offense, making sure I just stay in the confines of the offense and do what I do within the offense and what I do well. I mean, like he said, just going and scoring touchdowns and not settling for field goals, executing the red zone, that type of stuff is huge in football. So I hope I can do that well and show that.
What do you think you do the best? I mean, what skill set do you think is the best part of your game?
Probably throwing the ball. I've always liked throwing the ball. I mean, I don't mind running at all, trust me. I mean, I know I have to run the ball in this offense. I like running the ball. I didn't do much of it in high school, partly the reason because I think my coach didn't want me to get hurt. But also, I mean, running the ball and, I mean, throwing is definitely my top asset, I would say.
Where's your confidence at heading into camp?
I mean, my confidence is always I'm always pretty confident in myself. I feel that I can do whatever they ask me to do, and if I feel like I'm not doing it well enough, I'm going to go work on it and make it so it's good enough for them and for me.
You did look improved as a runner in the spring. I guess what have you tried to do to be able to execute the offense from the running standpoint as well?
I feel like running, like it just took a little bit more practice because I didn't do it that much in high school. So I think just practicing it more because I played basketball, I played like other sports. I wasn't just like a quarterback that never ran or anything, you know what I mean? So, I mean, probably just doing it, getting the reps at it probably helped a lot. And obviously weight room stuff, getting stronger, squatting, all that. I mean, we squat like 2 times a week. So that definitely helped for sure.
How do you avoid, obviously there's pressure and you want to win the job. How do you avoid trying to do too much, staying within yourself in the offense?
I feel like I did a pretty good job in the spring of not doing too much. That's where you run into trouble trying to do too much. Like I said, I feel like I played pretty well just staying in the confines of the offense and just doing what I'm asked to do. And that's pretty much all you can do. If you do what you're asked to do and execute what you're asked to do, then we should be fine.
Being the most experienced guy, being good at a job, you kind of feel like it's your job
No, I mean, to be honest, I don't worry about what's going on outside of the football field, to be honest with you. I mean, I just go out there and play by play. Last year, I mean, obviously it wasn't as big as a deal because Cody was a starter, but I was competing for a second string job, and I go about it the same way last year as I do this year. It's just me going out there and doing what I need to do.
Anything else for Tyler? Next up we have Austin Corbett.
Heading into the season, you guys don't have a ton of experience. You're looking for starters. You guys are kind of low among the FBS teams. I guess what do you feel about this line as we get into the year?
I feel like we're all a pretty close unit together. We're all kind of got respect for one another, and we know that whoever's next to us, whether it's some guy that's been here for a couple of years, senior, or some walk-on that just came in, we all know that we're going to play for each other and get the job done that the coaches want. And it's like we're not really worried about kind of starts or whatever. We know what we're capable of, and we know we can do it for each other.
Coach kind of mentioned, you, Adam, we all got to play a ton as redshirt freshmen. I guess what have you learned from that experience of picking this fall camp that you didn't have last fall camp?
Definitely being younger last year, kind of had to grow up quick and had to get our roots under us. And this year we know what to expect, and it's there's no one really else with this experience, so they're kind of looking to us to be the leaders and show all these guys what's the standard here.
In the quarterback position, obviously everybody's kind of been talking about them. Do you feel like you guys need to know who that is with a couple weeks still in camp?
I mean, for us, we're not sure what's going on behind us. We trust the coaches. They're going to put someone correct behind us to make us win the most games. They're not going to be out there just to put their favorite guy out there, because that's their job too. They came here to win so they can support their families, and we trust the coaches. They're going to put the right guy out there, whoever it is.
Were you ever at 100% after you hurt your ankle last year? Or do you kind of feel like you're kind of fighting an uphill battle as far as your health?
I mean, spraining both ankles isn't something anyone wants to do, but you just deal with it. And everyone's dealing with something across the country. Whatever it is, everyone's hurt. Everyone's got bumps and bruises. You just got to kind of push through it, and you make 100% out of it for every game. You get all your prep work in for the practice. Get all your rehab, your ice. Taking care of yourself, doing limiting reps if you have to. But once we get to the games, I was always feeling really good.
What do you see as the strength of this offense this season?
This offense, I know whatever quarterback it is, they're going to be kind of shaken up just because it's their first time really out there. So I believe it's going to be the offensive line's job to really kind of give them so they're comfortable in the pocket, and for the running backs, we can open up wide holes, and the better we're running, the more comfortable the quarterbacks get, and they'll be able to settle into what they're doing.
You were named to the Outland Trophy watch list. I guess what does that mean to you? A kid from Sparks who was a walk-on in Nevada to get that honor as a sophomore?
I mean, it's obviously pretty cool, but I was getting all these congratulations from people in high school, family, friends, and I always see it as, I'm on the list, but I didn't win the award, so I don't think it's like I've arrived at any point. I don't see it as cool as other people do. It's top 81 guys in the nation, but at the end of the day, I'm December, try to be that one guy, and it's kind of what I'm striving for. And these guys next to me on the team, they're going to help me out. They're going to keep me calm if I ever panic. I'm going to keep them calm if they ever panic. It's brotherhood out there, and we're all here to make each other the best we can be.
I've asked you this before, but what's the Reed High School and all the offensive linemen?
I don't even know what to say about that. We just keep coming out here, and it really helps us. We know each other from Reed. We just have that automatic connection, and I just credit all the coaches over there too. It's real fun having people come to college. You got like James Butler. He's from Chicago. He's not just going to have all these Chicago guys come out here and be with him that he knows. So it's really something special to be able to play with people that you know and that you grew up with.
Tell us about Cody. Coach mentioned Cody Dahan as next kind of Reed guy in. Tell us about him and what you think he can bring as a freshman.
He played on varsity with me his sophomore year, my senior year, and he was playing left guard and I was left tackle, and I was able to see him grow through there. He came up, and he was pretty scared his first game just because he's a sophomore getting moved up that week to play varsity, but he really calmed down. He was able to stay poised through all the mess of football, and I kind of really liked that aspect to him. And I was able to do my redshirt freshman year. I was able to go back and kind of watch him read games, and I saw him even grow even more than the time I was there. And I playing on the basketball court with him. He's an athlete for sure. He's able to move, and he'll be a good asset here soon, I believe.
What do you want to change the most from last year? Like, what did you learn from last year's season that you want to change or make better about yourself in the offensive line this year?
Just kind of being all on the same page with all the offensive linemen. Whatever calls we make, if we're all on the same page, whether that call's wrong, if we're all doing the same thing, then chances are it's going to work out and everything's going to be okay. And just kind of early in the games, you just got to kind of beat people up, just take it out of them. And by the time the fourth quarter comes in, you can see a difference how the D-line's fighting back. And a lot of the times, like in Hawaii, we just had the ball for 25 of the 30 minutes in the second half. We just kept driving. We all could see the difference in how tired the defense was. That makes our job easier as well.
As someone that's from Northern Nevada, how much pride do you take in playing for the Union, playing for Nevada?
It's really something special being from here. I grew up, came to games all the time. I saw all these big guys out here. Just like even looking back now, I still think like there's no way we were that big. These guys sounds like they were men out there. And I don't feel like we're there yet. But I mean, all these little kids out here, that's what they're looking up to, and it's really special to be out here and be the ones getting looked up to. And we know we got a standard to hold for them. We got to show them how to grow up, how to be the correct person that they can. And it's there's not really words for how it feels. It's truly special.
Coach mentioned right tackle, center, the holes he's got to plug in camp. How do you feel about the depth of talent in camp that could fill in those roles?
I mean, we got a bunch of young guys. The whole offense line's young, but we've been here. We've been all together all summer. We've been kind of working, playing around with positions and personnel, and I think we'll be all right. Everyone could step up. Everyone stepped up before, and during the spring ball, we kind of just played around, threw guys in new positions, and I feel like they handled it pretty well. And I think these next 2 weeks will be huge for us.
Despite your current illness, how does it feel to be cleared to go and be back and you can play again?
It feels great actually, to not be hurting after weights or after rehab or running around with the team, to not have to go lay down for like a couple hours to get my back. So it feels great. It feels better to be around the team this much.
What about the mental aspect of getting past what happened and not worrying about it maybe happening again, being able to just go all out on the field?
I think the mental aspect probably went away like 2 months ago when I started to feel myself come back and my legs not hurt after practice and things like that. Once I started to be able to lift and do everything back that I was or better than before, then I think I don't really think about it anymore now.
Going through something like that, how does that change your perspective on the game of football and how glad you are to keep playing and do all those kind of things?
The only thing I really thought about that changed my perspective about football is I respect it more now, and I kind of see how fast it can be taken away in a blink of an eye, and from a hit that probably shouldn't even happen. Maybe it was something that led up to it, maybe not. But after something like that happens, you respect the game, you respect the people around you a lot more.
Has it been tough going through what you went through to try and take that next step this year, because you were limited in spring camp? I mean, was it tough taking that time off and not being able to really work on that next step?
Yeah, it was actually very tough because any catch you make, the defensive backs are like, well, I couldn't touch you, or, in your mind you're like, well, would I have caught that if they would have contested it? So I still feel like we got better as a receiving core. So, that's all that really matters. Whether I was limited or not, I think our receiving core looked a little better than it did last year.
What do you think about the quarterback group that's trying to win that job? I mean, as a whole, trying to replace that role from Cody.
I think there's a lot of talent. They're all young, young as in experience-wise. Tyler only played Florida State, Hawaii, and maybe a couple reps in UNLV last year. So, there's not really a veteran there, but he's a veteran because he was here and watched a great quarterback for 2 years. And I think Hunter is a naturally great quarterback. He has a couple things to work on that Rolo's fixing, and Dante Mays is an outstanding athlete, and he can run, he can throw, he can do all those things. And so the little things that he needs to fix, I think it's rather who gets the little things fixed first will be who will be the quarterback. And right now, honestly, I don't care who it is because I have trust in all three of them.
How much are you looking forward to taking that first hit out there?
I'm kind of just ready to get out the way. I talked to Polian about it, Coach Polian, about it yesterday. When I met with him before the team meetings, and he told me, you're gonna have to take a shot here and there, a couple live periods, and just so we're not gonna wait till September 3rd to see if you're ready to get hit. So I'm just ready to get over with, see how I bounce back. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine.
Improve your state of mind and know that they sent out your stuff to NFL teams and they're like 100% looks good.
Yeah, I think that's when the mental stuff started to go away, when the people from Stanford or everybody else started looking at my stuff. I think that everything in my mind went away, that what if I do get hurt, what if this happens, what if I'm not healthy yet. I think that went away, and really that and lifting with Bubba Reynolds, our strength and conditioning coach, and Ben's rehab, really strengthening my upper back and my core. I think that seeing the difference in that, in those two things really helped my mental state, and also the film and stuff being sent down to the NFL people.
When you didn't play the last couple games, the passing game obviously took a big hit. I guess what did you learn about your performance of this team just by watching what the passing game looked like without you out there?
I think I don't know if it's personally me, but I think after the Air Force loss, our team in general just it kind of hit us for. Because we were right there for a Mountain West Conference championship game. So I think that loss kind of, shook us up a little bit. I don't think it was really just me missing. I think it was just, the mental state that we were not where we were going to be. We were wanted to be at the end of the year.
What are your personal expectations for yourself this year?
Like I was talking to Polian yesterday, he asked me the same question. Really, it's just to step up and be that leader that everybody looks up to, and to play my role as best as I can, and make all the catches that come my way, because they're going to be important for the team, and probably play a little more aggressive than I did last year.
Anything else?
Thank you.
How excited are you to get the season started?
I'm really excited. It's year 2. It's a different feeling, but I still kind of feel like they're just a little freshman, but more is expected now.
You do have a year under your belt. Do you just feel more comfortable around the program and the guys this year?
Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable now, and I kind of have to step up and be like a leader type, because the running back core, we're still pretty young. Our only senior is Don, so.
You're probably going to get more. I mean, you got a lot of playing time last year, but you're probably going to get a lot more carries this year. How excited are you for a bigger role in this offense?
It's really exciting. Just seeing the improvement. The coaches seeing it. The team seeing it. More people believing in me. It's real nice.
What have you worked on in the offseason to maybe become a more complete back?
Working on getting stronger. Cause, I noticed last year, blocking those big linebackers were pretty tough. Definitely, and definitely on trying to work on my speed for like breakaway runs.
How big of a jump was it from running in high school to running in Division I?
It was crazy, but like luckily I had guys like Don, Nate McLaurin, and like Kendall Brock to like help me along, and I just hope I can be that for the guys under me.
You guys have a chance to be the best duo in the Mountain West. How excited are you about what you and Don can do together?
It's awesome because we're all really go off Don's tempo. Like if Don's playing well, that's gonna inspire me to play well. And we even got guys like Lucas Weber and Blake Wright, and they're coming along too. So we really think that we can be as a whole one of the best corps in the country, if not the Mountain West.
Don and you seem to get along really well for guys who are obviously competing for carries. I guess what did you learn most from him last season as you tried to develop the college player?
To really stay poised. Like sometimes the game's not always gonna go your way. Like whenever Don came off, I would go to him right away and see like what was it like, and he always knows what to tell me, like to stay poised, don't let the game like get to you. Remember it's just a game and to have fun and stuff like that.
What did it mean to you to have him come over and kind of help you along rather than look at you as kind of somebody who I'm competing with?
It really felt nice because that's what like all high school players think. Like even like my high school friends are like, you and Don get along, like you guys play the same system. But yeah, like that's like my big brother.
What do you like when you watch him run?
I like his intensity and like the way he goes after him. Like in the first quarter, like he always says like we're not making moves, we're just gonna run downhill and we're gonna make it hurt. And after a while, they're gonna start getting out of the way.
You mentioned that you guys kind of go off his tempo. I mean, is he the leader of the offense? Is that fair to say at this point?
Yes.
Why do you guys all feed off of him? What's it about him that
because Don's been here. He understands the offense. He's the leader on the team and the running back corps. He's the oldest. He's really he really sets the tempo. If we're all down, we plan on we look to Don to pick us up, and he really sets the tone for all us other backs.
There hasn't been a 1,000-yard back here for 2 years in a row. I don't know the last time that's happened. I mean, is that the point of something you guys talk about? Is we need to get that 1,000-yard back?
Of course, because Coach P said we want to pound the ball this year, and we definitely believe that the U can do it, and us as a collective group, we believe that we can be one of the best in the Mountain West.
How much bigger have you gotten since last year?
I've gained 5 pounds.
All muscle?
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah.
Anything else for JB? All right, we'll do it.